While we've been trying to get the science packs off Pelagos, the rest of the solar system has continued to be needy. Let's have a look at how we're trying to get the most out of our science packs and check out the little fixes elsewhere. Welcome to Laurence Plays Factorio Planetary Pioneers. Research and development on Norvis has continued to grow steadily as Mark continues to sneak extra science parks into the city blocks. He's up to 4 of them now, and Tristan is steadily upgrading the biolabs that do the actual hard work. Currently, 3 of the blocks contain Quality 3 biolabs, nudging their base speed up from a mere 7 to 11.2. However, they have then also been fitted with Quality 2 Tier 3 productivity modules, which bring the speed back down to about 4.5, but nudge the productivity up by more than 50%. That's then coupled with the 50% science pack drain from these labs, so even without any science productivity researchers, we're getting triple the science from each pack. That's pretty good, since putting down more labs is easy. The challenge is making the packs. But that's just a normal lab area. The flagship block just to the north has been upgraded even further, and this is where all the really exciting toys go. Here we have all the Quality 4 and even 5 labs, fitted with the best modules we can possibly make. At best, bringing the speed back up to 7, even with the module penalties, and the productivity up to a whopping 76%. I say this in a slightly sarcastic tone, but this is actually pretty good. Having these higher tier machines and modules in over here is going to give us a nice boost in our science per minute, without requiring any extra science packs to be made. A quick check of the graph shows that we're currently a little over 2,700 science per minute, and that's pretty steady too. Science seems to be in a good place. This is good, but isn't actually the reason I came over to look at these systems. Some time back, Tristan also set up the lab stations on this block to request science packs of higher quality levels, if available. This means that a few select and special packs, it's the 2 military ones, and I'll explain why later, have now turned up as Quality 2 and are being fed out onto the belts to go to the biolabs. Higher quality science packs are quite valuable because they contain more science per bottle. If we watch this military pack drop, you'll see that when it starts a new one, it starts with 200% remaining. There is literally twice as much science in there, so the pack will last twice as long. This is great, but I'll talk about why it's a bit overrated in a moment. Tristan has arranged for these packs to be delivered by putting in a combinator with the normal requests as negative numbers here, adding on the contents of the station with the green wire, and the contents of the main storage system with the red wire that goes to an isolator combinator here. Combining these 3 signals means that the supply will cancel out at least some of the demand, reducing the numbers passed on. However, this doesn't take quality levels into account. The next block of selector combinators all work in the same way. They take in that signal of supply minus demand and flatten it to a single quality level. The top one will convert all of the signals to quality 1, the second to quality 2, and so on. This means that if there's a shortage of any type of science pack, it will request all quality levels of that science pack. But if there's enough of any quality, or in fact the total of all of the quality levels, it won't request any of them. This ensures that we don't end up with 5 times as many science packs as we want in the block, while still requesting all of the different quality levels. The system is also connected to the alarm that warns us when an area is running out of a science pack, and will soon be connected to the lights along the top of the science columns. You can see at the moment that the light is on for military science, even though there's plenty in the storage, but that's because it's mostly quality 2. If higher quality science packs are available, then it makes sense to use them. This prioritisation is achieved by having different numbers subtracted from the stock for different quality levels, meaning that Tier 5s will be requested, and then when another 1,000 packs have been used it'll ask for Tier 4, then after another 1,000 Tier 3, another 1,000 calls for Tier 2, and finally after another 1,000 it'll resort to the Tier 1s. In short, the system will ask for science packs of all quality levels, but will ask for the higher tiers sooner. You might have noticed something in common between the 2 higher quality science packs I've been talking about. They're both military ones, which means we can produce them in forges. These have an innate quality bonus, which means we're going to get some quality packs out of them whether we like it or not. And so, we might as well make use of them. For the other science packs, I don't believe it's worth the opportunity cost of using quality modules. Yes, a quality 2 red science pack would be worth 2 quality 1 packs, but if we filled this assembler with quality 3 modules, there would be a 10% chance of getting that doubling. Alternatively, we can put in productivity modules, With the Prod 3 modules, there's a 40% chance of getting an additional science pack out, and so productivity modules are roughly 4 times better and are much simpler to implement and can be used as speed beacons if you want to. The same logic applies to making components of the science packs as well. It's better to use productivity modules than quality. However, there are a few exceptions. Because end products can't be made with productivity, even if said end products are then going to be used as ingredients for something else, some packs, such as green, grey and purple, can and probably should be made with quality modules. However, since this is significantly more complicated, both in handling the quality intermediates and in shipping the packs of different quality levels, we haven't actually implemented this yet, except for with grey, because that was going to have quality levels anyway. As a side note, the last time I talked about the military science, I said that because the chances of all of the different quality levels is the same for each of the ingredients, ammo, walls and grenades, over time we should expect them to all trend to the same number of each, and so with some relatively small buffers we should be fine and be able to build all the science packs in proportion. This was not correct, and I was rightly called out for it in the comments. Whilst it's absolutely true that the proportions will trend towards the same percentages, the absolute numbers are likely to drift over time. A 0.1 error in 20,000 items is bigger than a 1% error in 1,000 items. This effect is seen down here, where we've had significantly more tier 3 grenades than walls or ammo. This is unfortunately normal and should have been expected, so we might need to put in some priority splitters and overflow disposal systems in here, but doing that neatly and efficiently is going to be a challenge. When the system switches from doing a normal research with the labs on Norvis over to a Foliaxian one, the speed difference is incredible. Here you can see it ramping up from a little under 3,000 science per minute to 15,000. Part of this is due to the Foliaxian research being a 10-second one, but the lab bonuses out there play a big part too. Our Gleben Bio labs on Norvis range from a speed of 4.5 up to 7, plus a 52 to 76% productivity gain and a pack drain of 50%. On Foliax, from a tier 3 lab, we're getting a speed of 151, a productivity of 45% and a drain of 32%. That's a lot of numbers. Are the Foliaxian ones actually better? Well, the speed is clearly enormously higher, more than 20 times faster than our best Gleben ones, so if we replaced all the labs on Norvis with ones like this, we would get the same research speed from a fifth of a single block. That's about 20 labs. But speed isn't actually what matters. If you want more science speed, it's easy to just put down more science labs. It's making the packs quickly enough that's the challenge, and so we should compare the other bonuses. The best lab on Norvis, with all the bells and whistles, the greatest modules we can make, has an effective total of 3.52 science per pack, which is pretty good. Foliax beats it hands down though, with an effective total of 4.53 science per pack, and that's just with the tier 3 labs and modules. Further upgrade churn will boost that even further, which is why Tristan is working hard to produce tier 4 Foliax biolabs and tolerance modules, which should boost the science to around 5.5 per pack. This is a slow process. He currently has 1 tier 4 lab and 13 tier 4 modules, but it's a work in progress. And we'll talk some more about it in a few months when he's been able to implement some of his cunning plan. In the interest of fairness, I should also point out that the Foliax labs require juice to work, either the yellow fruit juice or the blue isotope island punch, but since they both have a 10-hour spoil time, I don't expect us to have any problems shipping those in. It's just another resource to manage. But it's not all about science. Let's move on to Castra, where there has been good news and bad. On the positive side, Mark has finished building the defensive wall to keep out the tank patrols. Because the oil lakes are traversable, both by us and them, we haven't been able to use them as choke points and have needed to make sure that the wall goes all the way round, hence the sheer scale of it. As part of this, he's replaced the bot-based supply of ammunition with a proper belt running from the centre of the factory out. I approve of that. A little while ago, the Castrians did invent artillery. However, I believe we've done significantly more artillery range than they have. On the other hand, whilst we're still doing some, I believe they can research faster than us, and so there is a potential risk for the future. Part of me actually hopes that we will get an unexpected surprise from this planet at some point in the future, ideally when we least expect it. But for now, the artillery we have is keeping the enemy at bay at great expense in artillery shells. The data collectors are extremely tough and take a huge number of shells to defeat, but we have good logistics bringing supplies over, so I guess it can cope. Mark has said that the artillery needs a little further expansion. I think this means moving it out right into the corners of the base to get maximum coverage. As it is, we're doing pretty well and are protecting well outside our pollution cloud. Since then, he's actually completed this expansion, and unfortunately that led to an unexpected side effect. I said there was some bad news too. Well, during stream number 46, we encountered an unfortunate game freeze. This repeated every time we returned to a previous save, and in both single and multiplayer, and so Tristan did some investigating. I do intend to look into this in more detail in another video, but as I understand it, every so often Castra tries to build a structure by one of the data collectors, picking a data collector at random. Some data collectors can become invalid targets though, perhaps because they're being jammed or because they've been destroyed, and if the random selector picks an unsuitable target, it will try again. This is a reasonable solution, except for the glaring problem. If there's no suitable target, perhaps because all the unjammed data collectors have been destroyed, the loop will run forever, never finding a target, and so freezing the game. I believe Tristan has fixed this by clearing out the list that the game searches through to remove the bad entries, thereby causing it to look at the list, realise it's empty, and not bother trying to find a suitable target. This means that the game now works again with a modified mod, and we are able to play again the Monday after as normal. Phew. He's now released this modified version of Planetary Pioneers and the Castra fix, so if you're playing along, I suggest you upgrade. Yes, that's right. We'll be back on Monday at 7:30 PM UK time as usual to carry on with Planetary Pioneers, so join us then on YouTube or Twitch to see which planet we're working on now. If you'd like to try out Planetary Pioneers yourself, you can grab the mod from the Factorio mod portal and join in. Use the seed 11111 to get your own copy of our exact universe, and if you go to Castra, make sure you've updated the mods or make sure you don't destroy all the data collectors. I'll also be back for a solo stream on Wednesday at 8, where I'm playing some smaller mods and some other games. At the time of writing, I'm playing Factorio Fun Mode, where many things have been made extremely silly, and I'm about to find out what's been done to the trains. Videos will continue to come out every Thursday and Friday for as long as my sanity holds up, so please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. Thank you very much for watching, especially if you've made it this far, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.